Hello students, good morning. Welcome to online class. Students, today we are going to read the second part of the chapter development from the book Understanding Economic Development. That means today we are going to read some more topics from the same chapter, that is development. And today we are going to cover the following topics. The topics: per capita income, which is otherwise called in the form of abbreviation as PCI, per capita income. Second one, average income. Here average income, what it is, today I will tell you. Health, education, what development means, national income, income and other criteria, public facilities. So these topics today we are going to cover from this chapter. Students, so if you go to our first topic, what does it mean? That is per capita income. In the previous video also I told you students that per capita income means income of an individual. I repeat, income of an individual in a country during an accounting year or during a year. Income of an individual, of a person in a country during a year. That is called per capita income. If you add all the per capita incomes of all the individuals, then it will become national income also. Okay, so but we are dealing here with only per capita income. So with the help of per capita income, we can distinguish whether a country is developed or less developed, or whether a country is coming under high income group countries or middle income group countries or low income group countries. In the previous video we have seen that India is coming under the low to middle income group countries based on its per capita income. So what is per capita income? Income of a person or income of an individual in a country during the year. And if you add all the individual or all the per capita incomes of the people in a country, we will get national income. Now second, moving to average income. What is meant by average income? That means when the national income of a country, we are getting national income of a country, it is otherwise called average income. Average income means the total income of a country during the year. Why it is called average income? Actually it is called national income, but why I am calling average income? Because suppose in a country there are 100 people are there. Out of 100 people, 60 people are earning. I mean they are earning the incomes. Remaining 20% people, remaining out of 40, 20% people, they are very young. I mean below the age of 14. So they are not working. And another 20% people, they are age old or layman or suffering with some problem, disease. So they are also not working. So out of 100%, actually 60% people are the earners, earning the income. But when we are calculating the national income of the country, then we have to take into consideration the entire 100 people's income. That means the 60% income is been equally distributed among 100 people. That's why the average income is coming less. That means earners are only 60%. But how many people are there? 100. 40% people are not working. But when you are calculating the country's income, that's national income, the 60% income is been distributed equally among all the 100% people. So it is only average. So that is called average income. We can say another name of average income is what? National income. Clear? Now Health. Health is an important sector or important component in the economic development of a country. You know the proverb, health is wealth. If health is good, then everything is good. Suppose in a country the health conditions of the people are very good. That means that country is in better position. That's why most of the governments or every country government is spending or allocating more money for health sector. Okay, so health sector should be given priority. Then only the people of the country will be healthy. When they are healthy, they can contribute more. They can contribute more share in the national income. When health is good, they can live for more years. Their longevity, their life expectancy will be more. If the health conditions are more, a person can live more years. When he is able to live more years, he will work more years. When he will work more years, then his contribution to the national income will be more. So health is very, very important, and health also taken into consideration to distinguish about country's position along with per capita income or national income. Now coming education. Education here means the literacy rate. Here also the governments are spending more and more income to the education sector, to education field, opening many new schools, colleges, universities, spreading education, spreading literacy rate. If you are educated, then only you will be helpful in the development of the country. If you are educated, then only you are helpful in the development of the country. So almost all governments in the world, they are giving more priority to health and education sector. By seeing the allotment in education and health sector, we can easily say the country is trying to develop their economy. Clear? Now moving to what does development mean. In the previous video I told you students, what is the meaning of development? Growth of the economy along with the improvement in the quality of life. Development means growth in the economy. Growth in the economy along with the improvement in the quality of life of the people, such as education, health, etc. is called development. Clear? Now coming to national income. What is meant by national income? Listen students, or define national income. The total income of the country during a year, or during an accounting year, or during the financial year. The total income of a country during an accounting year is called national income. That is one definition. Another definition is the total incomes of all the individuals. The total incomes of all the individuals in a country during the year is also called national income. That means when we add the incomes of individuals, when you do the sum total of the individual income, then it will also become what? National income. Another definition which is not given here, the total value of all the final goods. Here final goods means those goods which are ready to consume, which have crossed the production boundary line. So the total value of all the final goods and services, whatever the value of all the final goods and services, if you add that value, that also will give the picture of national income of the country. So these are the three definitions, and based upon the national income, we can easily distinguish whether a country is developed or less developed, whether a country comes under high income group or middle income group or low income group countries. Okay, so national income is a measurement to distinguish the countries in the world. Okay, now moving to the next one, income and other criteria. Income and other criteria. What we are going to read in this topic. So students, when we look at individuals, when we look at individuals, we found that people not only think about better income. When we look about individual, people are not only thinking about better income, apart from better income, they're also, have a number of goals. Besides income, okay, besides better income, they also thinks more about what are they? That is security, social securities, political security, respect for others, equal treatment, freedom. These are also the other goals of the individuals, along with or besides income, better income. Similarly, when we think about a nation, when we think about our country or a nation or a region, we may also think, sir, of besides average income. Besides average income, we may think about the other equally important attributes. Okay. Now, students, in your textbook, here one box is given here. This box. So here, table, that is table 1.3. Here it compared 3 states and their per capita incomes. The states are Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. Students, I am teaching as per 2016 and 17. The data. The data may varies, depends upon the edition. It depends upon the old and new books. So don't bother about that one. Only we are doing comparison. Now, so here states were how many? 3. Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. And their per capita incomes as per 2016 and 17 is given here. So if you look here, Haryana's income is what? 1,80,174. 1,80,174. Similarly, Kerala 1,63,475. And Bihar, that is 34,409. So when you look the data, then what you come to know? So based on the per capita income among all these 3 countries, that Haryana ranks first position, top position in per capita income, and the bottom position is occupied by Bihar. So Bihar is in the bottom of per capita income, and which country ranks top? Haryana. So same thing I'm telling you. What could these attributes be? Let us examine this through an example. Table 1.3, yes, I'm reading, gives the per capita income of Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. Actually, these figures are of per capita net state domestic product. Per capita net state domestic product at current prices 2016-17. Okay. Let us ignore what is complicated term here exactly means. Roughly we can take it to be the better per capita income of the state. We find that Haryana is the highest in per capita income and Bihar is the bottom. Already told you. Okay, this means that on an average, a person in Haryana is earning 1,80,174 rupees on an average. This is also average. Exactly we can't measure. Generally, any data in the country will be average only. Exactly we can't give. People are telling there is 130 crores of population in India. Exactly 130 crore is not there. There may be more, there may be less. Okay. Now, so whereas the average income, a person in Bihar is what? Earning only 34,409. So bottom. Clear. So if per capita income were to be used as a measurement of development, suppose if I use per capita income as a measurement of development, as a criteria of development among these 3 countries, among the 3 states, so which state is better or which state is developed or Haryana? If I take per capita income as the criteria for development, then Haryana is the top position having more development and the bottom is what? Bihar. Okay, now let us now look at certain other data pertaining to these states. Now coming back again, another table is given, students, here. Another table. This one. Okay, this one. Now, here states again, same states, Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. But he has given here infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio. So these topics are discussed. So infant mortality rate per thousand live births. Infant mortality rate means what? Deaths before the age of 5 years. Death before the age of 5 years. Literacy rate, I mean how many people are able to read and write a particular, I mean his name, or able to do some small arithmetic problems, that is literacy rate. And net attendance ratio. Net attendance ratio means how many people, okay, are going to the school between 14 to 15 years. Okay, it is calculated per 100 persons. Now Haryana, if you see that here it is given infant mortality rate. First I will compare infant mortality rate. Haryana 30, Kerala 10, Bihar 35. Haryana 30, Kerala 10 and Bihar 35 infant mortality rates. That means in Bihar more deaths are there, and Kerala very less number of deaths are there below the age of 5 years, and Haryana 30. So which state is better in infant mortality rate? Better means here less mortality rate should be there. So Kerala is in the top position in infant mortality rate with less number of infant mortality rates, and dash state is more in infant mortality rate, Bihar. So Kerala top, again Bihar at the bottom. Now coming to literacy rate. So literacy rate is given Haryana 82%, Kerala 94%, and Bihar 62%. So here also if you see, Kerala ranks first position in literacy rate, and it is true, it is top state in the country in literacy rate, and Bihar is the bottom state in literacy rate. Now coming to net attendance ratio per 100 persons. Here Haryana 61, Kerala 83 and Bihar 43. So here also the net attendance ratio in Kerala is far better than Bihar. So here also Kerala ranks top and Bihar ranks bottom position. Okay students, now moving to this one, our textbook. What did this table show? This table shows the comparison of all the three states in a net attendance ratio, infant mortality rate and literacy rate. And you know which state is top and which state is bottom. Yes. Now coming another topic, that is public facilities. These public facilities can also be called as what? Civic amenities. Civic amenities or public facilities. I mean these facilities are usually provided by the government for the welfare of the people, for the well-being of the people. So public facilities, let us see how the public facilities in some of the states in our country, India. See, how is it that the average person in Haryana has more income than average person in Kerala, but lags behind in the crucial areas? See, if you see in per capita income, that I told you, Haryana ranks top, whereas Haryana is lower than Kerala in net attendance ratio, in literacy rate, and also in that infant mortality rate. So one area Haryana ranks first place, and some areas Kerala ranks first place. However, Bihar is bottom in all the areas. Okay, now so Haryana is top in only per capita income and lags in other areas as per the textbook. The data is given. The reason is money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services. Money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live. Yes, money cannot purchase all the things. In the previous video also I told you, money cannot purchase all the things like pollution free atmosphere, love, affection, friendship, etc. So income by itself is not a complete, adequate, perfect indicator of material goods and services that citizens are able to use. So by seeing only income criteria, if you distinguish, that will not give the actual picture. In the previous video we classified the countries based on per capita income and national income, but we have not seen that in education, in health, in sanitation, okay, in literacy rate or in life expectancy, what is their country's position we have not seen. So taking only one thing as criteria and distinguishing whether that's a developed or less developed, that is not correct. For example, in your class, by taking the marks of a student as a criteria, we cannot say he is a good student. His behavior may be not good. He may be irregular, not punctual, not sincere. Okay, so like this. So taking income as one of the criteria, we cannot assume everything is correct. So we have to think other areas also. Other areas also. Okay. For example, normally your money cannot buy within a pollution-free environment. Money cannot buy pollution-free environment. Money cannot buy pollution-free environment, or ensure that you get unadulterated. Unadulterated means what? Adulteration means what? Mixing. I mean, making the quality poor, like mixing water in the milk. Mixing water in the milk means what? We are doing adulteration. Okay, so money cannot get unadulterated, medicines, unadulterated goods, unless you can afford to shift to a community that has already has all these things. Money may not, or I can say, money also not be able to protect. Money may not be able to protect you from infectious disease. Money cannot protect you from infectious disease. Now you see the novel corona 2019. It is, money cannot protect this disease. It is spreading like wildfire. Okay, so money cannot prevent us from infectious diseases unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. That's why lockdown is there. The entire community, entire country is taking all the necessary steps to fight against this novel corona disease. Okay, now actually for many of the important things in life, the best way, also the cheapest way, is to provide these goods and services collectively. That's why the government decided to provide all the goods and services to the public welfare, like safe drinking water, roads, health, education, public distribution system. There are certain things which government is providing to all the people for their welfare. Okay, just think, it will be cheaper to have collective security. Collective security will be cheaper. Okay, individual security will be much price taking. Okay, now so collective security for the whole locality or for the each house, okay, to have its own security man. Police people are there. They are giving us collective security. At the same time, some people, some homes, they are keeping individual security guards also. But collective security is what? Very cheaper and beneficial for all people. Okay, what if no one other than you in your village or locality is interested in studying? Okay, nobody in your village is interested to study except you. Then what is the case? You have to move to some other place for your education. But instead of doing that one, you are staying at the local area and getting education. How? By establishing school by the government. Would you able to study? No. Not unless your parents could afford to send you to some other private schools elsewhere. So you are actually able to study because many other children also want to study, and because many people believe that the government should open schools and provide other facilities so that all children have a chance to study. Even now in many areas, children, particularly girls, are not able to go to the higher school. Dropout rates are more among the girls, especially in rural areas. They stop their higher education after 5th standard, 6th standard, or after 10th standard. Okay, so dropout rates are more among the girls, particularly in rural areas, because the government society has not provided adequate facilities. Okay, now Kerala has, Kerala has low infant mortality rate. Kerala has a low infant mortality rate. That means the Kerala government is paying more on what? Health sector, spending more money on health sector, or medical science and technology, healthcare and delivery systems, and giving equal importance to mother and child. Okay, so Kerala has low infant mortality rate because it has adequate provision of basic health and educational facilities. Kerala government is giving more and more importance to health and education sector. They want their people should be healthy. They want their people should be educated. That's why it is in topmost position, and Kerala tops in literacy rate and also very less in infant mortality rate. Similarly, in some states, the public distribution system, PDS system, public distribution system, supplying the goods at a fair rate, less than the market price. You know, there are fair price shops are there, Uchit Mool Dar Ki Dukan. Fair price shops where the people below the poverty line, below BPL, BPL people, they're getting through ration card, they're getting some ration like rice, wheat, etc., etc. So the PDS system, public distribution system, functions well. Okay. Health and nutritional status of people, such states is health and nutritional status of the people of such states is certainly likely to be better. Okay. Now, yes. So coming back, which state is ranks first in a literacy rate? Kerala. Which state tops first in a per capita income? Haryana. Which state in bottom in literacy rate and infant mortality rate? Means Bihar. Okay. And dash state gives top rate with basic health and education? Kerala. So these topics we have covered, students. Now, in next topic we'll go for in next video we are moving to some other topics. So till then, take care. I hope you have understood all these concepts today very well. Okay, fine. Thank you.